Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifers Show, baby. Hope everything's going well. Hope you're doing okay. Let's break down Bitcoin right now for you immediately. Ooh, we're not ending. We're just beginning. Shout out to everybody here. If you're in the trading group, I made massive gains. I made $3,000 last night trading from about, 10 p.m. to about 2 in the morning. I was up till 2 in the morning. I went to bed about 2:30. Maybe it was 3 when I finally closed my eyes. I woke up in a bit of a daze at 7:30. Not sure what was happening, where I was, but I knew I was in a trade. Ran to the computer, see that I was still up in gains, and ended up taking that trade down. I was up 1,100, took it down for about 780, but it was a beautiful day to be alive. Shout out to everybody who had a trade here on Weeks that went up. That's the one I took out for about 780. It was up 1,100 at one point at its height. All right, and then I took this trade down for $2,700 on MEXC last night. This one eventually I would sell for $2,700 at a higher point, and bang, bang, bang. And look at the fee, only $23 in fees of a $2,384 win last night. Bang. So I'm waking up to massive gains. If I make $3,000 a day, I'll be in pretty good shape. And I took a scalp on Bitcoin this morning. I lost $134, aiming to get 450. And so that's kind of where I stand right now. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. We crushed it last night. We really did. We really, really did. Yeah. Is the stream fine? Beep, can you tell me if the stream is straight? I see some glitching, but everything seems fine to me. If I could just get an okay that the stream is looking 100% from anybody, team, anyone. I'm looking at DMs from Sean, Jamie, anybody out there in the game that's watching young Sammy all by himself out here. Shout out to the life. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everybody kicking it. I do teach class the last Saturday of every month. It's the best place to get yourself situated. Once you learn class with me, you can then join the trading group and really start to see what's happening. It'll make sense to you. Things will be really clear and concise. This is the Bible to how I teach. I have a condensed version of this for free inside my trading group. I know most people join my group, and I got DMs from the team. I got DMs. All good. Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Blessings, master friend, Jamie, Lakochi, Sean, everybody responding in kind. God bless my whole team. Thank you very much. And Sean, shout out to Sean with the dual deeds. You're nailing it. We're not going to talk about it, but we know. I love you, Sean. So we're going down to $74,000 for BTC. That's what BOOKMAP tells us is going to happen. BOOKMAP's been spot on. Every time we see a big red area, we eventually go down to it. Every once in a while, when it's like really far, we don't hit it. And again, I have seen us not hit it. It's not 100%, but it's pretty dang accurate, right, everybody? I mean, how many people have been trading with me with BOOKMAP here? And how many people have seen massive gains, understanding? How many people have no idea what this is? I'd like to take just an inventory of people here on the stream. Put a 333 if you know what this is. Put a 444 in the comment section if you have no idea what these bubbles and lines are. I just want to see how many people are kind of kicking it with us, understanding what we're doing when it comes to trading here. God bless you, man. Nice gains, boss. Looking sharp. Thank you. Shout out to 9-5 Crypto Content. No pants. There's have pants on every single day. Beautiful cocky pants. I just never wear, I get that stretch. Oh, my hip. Oh, I'm getting old. Hey, don't laugh at me. I'm old man over here. I'm only 45. I'm only 4,700 years old over here. I've been doing a lot of time traveling in my past. Get it? In my past. I don't know. I get it. What is the difference between BOOKMAP and liquidation heat map? So we have a lot of 333s, a lot of 444s. So we have a lot of new people here on the stream that don't watch me every day. That's awesome. YouTube keeps sending beautiful people here on the stream. So check it out. Check it out. What I want you to see here, let me send this stream man into the group, and we are live. Now, Thursdays, we had a inconsequential... Remember when I told you to put those stickies on your desk? Remember when I told you to put those stickies on your desk? And we had a move at 8:30, right? See, I was up all night and forgot. Just like, and I told you to put the stickies on your desk. Who here put the stickies on your desk when I told you to? Who here actually did it? I bet nobody did it. I bet maybe one person. Who here forgot about the unemployment moment? Yes, or about CPI, whatever. I'm going to find out what it was. I don't even remember what it was, but I know it was something. I know we had something. But see, anybody at the Bears, we buy more and make it cheaper, please. Amen. I'm with you, bro. I keep buying more, man. Bitcoin's the greatest asset in the world. They continue to print money to zero. The Ginny Foundation has told us that we are in a good spot. We just have to keep doing what we do and keep buying BTC. Everything else is futile. Not going to happen, right? So unemployment claims came in. They were higher than expected. Expected at the previous in forecast 222 and 220, and they came in at 242, higher than expected. Now that's usually a bullish sign for Bitcoin because it means they got to cut rates. If they were doing so well and all the movement they were doing, then they could keep the rates flat, right? And if unemployment kept going down, then they'd say, well, the economy's great. They cut rates to boost the economy. Everyone understands this? In a nutshell, this is like, there's more to this than this, but this is the basic thing that you want to pay attention to. If I'm a borrower, if I have a business and I have a car wash and it's going well, right? When you run a business, you don't want to use your own money. So if the business is going well and you can see that there's clientele and things are working, you put out a loan to the bank and you say, hey man, this look at this. I'll put this property up as collateral. It's doing great. I'm going to borrow against it and I'm going to open up another location. And they can show them the numbers and say, look how much I'm taking in. Look what's going on. Look at my expenses. And they're going to say, hey, that's a good investment. And then now if the interest rate's too high, I can't afford that loan, just the way it works out. And I can't take the loan. I can't open up the business. I can't hire more people, right? So if they keep the interest rates high, it slows down employment because they can't hire more people. But if they can lower the interest rate, I could borrow more money cheaper. I can hire more people. So if this interest rate could keep going up, it's going to be very good for Bitcoin. It's sad to say, but that's what we want. We want to see the unemployment rate continue to rise here. So that puts pressure on the Fed to cut rates halfway through the year. Once they start cutting, it's going to be risk on assets. And then there's going to be money printing because they got to print the money. They got to print money no matter what. They've been printing money no matter what. Inflation is not transitory. I've been telling you guys this for a long, long time here on the channel. I teach you how they create money by selling bonds to the open market system, which is an auctioned event by the biggest world banks, and then they sell those bonds back to the Federal Reserve at a profit and ends up with money at the Treasury, bonds at the Federal Reserve, and you paying the price for money that really comes out of thin air. The Federal Reserve has no balance sheet. How do they buy bonds with no balance sheet? They print it out of thin air. They create wealth like this. They're owned by a private group of people that own 6% a dividend on your money. We owe them every time they print us money. We basically owe a vig on the money they give us. This has all been designed. Watch the movie Money Masters. They've been doing this for societies for thousands of years. They basically go to a society, send politicians into their system, keep lobbying, change the laws. Next thing you know, they tell them they got to have a bank. This is why they took out James Garfield. He was trying to stop it. And then, boom, this is why they took out Abraham Lincoln. He had the greenback. If I talk too much, yeah. So I'm just telling you, I'm telling you the truth here, even though you don't want to know it. This is a truth channel boosting out the speakers here, showing you how we do it. God bless everybody here who's coming through on the live. Appreciate you all for being here. So let's break down BTC on the charts. Let's have some fun. Let's see if there is a trade to be had. I might trade Thursdays. I usually don't. But right now we are cracking the 200 MA on the 5-minute time frame, which is a known signal of mine. So hold up one second. Let me just pop on in right here before I do my top-down analysis for you and just say, well, this is a known signal. Whenever I see us break above the 200 MA and we're below the 21, which means we got to cross the 21, that's actually a pretty good sign. I like that. On a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd be all over it. Thursday, I might be a little more hesitant. But we made $3,000 last night. We don't have to be, you know what I mean? I'm free. Like when you wake up $3,000, the next day is kind of fun for you as a trader. It's free. You're free, man. You're just like, and I did it in 2 a.m, so I can kind of say it was today, right? So it goes with today, you know. It feels good, I'll be honest. And it was in heavy risk, and the market hasn't been amazing. And I was able to find, and I made $3,000 the day before on KAITO. So things have been going well, right? And the reason why is because I believe there was opportunity in the market, and I kept my mind limber. I kept believing that, hey, it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. It's what I think, and I think that I can make it happen. I think I can find some opportunity out here where everyone else thinks there's a slump, when everyone thinks there's a dump, when everyone thinks it's just not going to happen. I can believe in myself. I can push myself. I owe that to my mom and dad. They gave me that joy, that push. So look, a beautiful bullish div. We called this out also on the 4-hour time frame. We're going to look at all this, but a nice bullish div on the 5-minute time frame. Also, once we got above the 200 MA, that propelled us further to the upside. You could also have played what's called a symmetrical, ascending triangle. It was a beautiful ascending triangle with a measured move. Basically hit it pretty close to the T. I guess if I'm a little more like stringent. But yeah, it hit it pretty nicely and then came down with the bounce, getting back above the 200 MA. If you get rejected by that 200 MA, you're likely going to continue to dump. But if you can get back above it, make this inverted head and shoulder that I have proposed here, there's a chance we get a move further to the upside. Very sketchy day, up and down. Tomorrow we have some more news. And it's not even news, it's actually data. Data actually trends into the market, and the market takes into this data, and you have to listen. All right, you can't act like it doesn't exist here. So let me show you what's happening. And we went over this Saturday night, right? So you knew, like I kept telling you that you were going to have unemployment claims at 8:30 in the morning on Thursday. So definitely something like a good, that's another reason why I took my trade down last night, because I knew unemployment was coming and I had to pay attention. We go further down in here to the key levels here at 8:30 in the morning, and we have core PCE, which is going to be coming in tomorrow, right? It's 0.3, 0.2. You want everything to be up. You want prices of things to be up. All right, you want unemployment. I mean, I know it sounds horrible, but this is what you want. You want personal income month over month to be down. You want personal spending to be down. Do you want spending to be down? Yeah. I mean, you would. Yeah, at least. Yeah, because people won't spend if they can't have access to money. So, all right. And the court now with the tariffs coming, they are coming next week. It's just putting a lot of pressure on the market. I see the markets they're gonna what's called regurgitate. They're going to take in the information wrong. They're going to spit it out. And then once it reverses to see the residual outcome, the markets will bake that in and begin to move. So it does look like there could be a move based, you can kind of see the writing on the wall. A move somewhere down to $74,000 for Bitcoin looks very likely. You should brace for that. You should get ready for that. Looks like the altcoins are going to be able to handle it pretty well. Looks like Solana may be able to bump back up to 141, 145, hang out sideways, dump back to 130, pump back up. There's a chance that we could still stay maybe above 110, 120 for Solana. That's what I'm looking for. Who here is holding Solana? Who here believes in buying more Solana? Who here sold their Solana for Ethereum and jumped on the bandwagon? I did not. Put a 222 if you sold your Solana for Ethereum like everybody told you. And it's okay if you did. It might have been a good move. I don't think it's the best move. And I'm going to show you why on the charts, but we'll break it down later on. But put a 222 if you sold your SOL for Ethereum. Put a 333 if you bought more Solana on these dips. Put a 333 if you bought more Solana on the dip. Let me know. I'm always looking at the chat. I'm interacting with each and every one of you. I want to know what's happening here every single day. All right. 85,000. So it does look like we may go lower here for Bitcoin. It does look like that may be the case in point. So I just want to watch and see what's happening. We're kind of stuck at that same place here. And remember, tomorrow at 8:30, we have some news. So we're looking to see if this inverted head and shoulder can play out. But we're having some issues getting back above the 200 MA. It could also just be a retest of the 200 MA. I'm going to show you more ideas. I haven't even begun to scratch the surface of what I'm seeing here for price action. So let's break it down. If you want to trade where I trade, I made those gains last night on MEXC and Weeks. All right, two of my premier exchanges. Links to MEXC and Weeks right up here if you want to jump on in. All right, if you have any problems, let me know. Customer service is amazing. So, and I back it up with my rep. If anything happens to you, I would say, hey, that was someone with my link. I need to know what's going on. All right, I'm not a fly-by-night guy. I'm here every single day. And, I love the fact that you're here supporting me. So I'm going to do everything I can to help you and support you too as well. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for being amazing. And, may God bless everybody on the stream. Shout out to PS5, Future of Gaming, for staying positive. Shout out to all the beautiful people here that stay positive no matter what. Remember this. And I'm not going to say this to be morbid, and sometimes I shouldn't. Maybe I'm going to find a new way to say this. Right now, this is the way I say it, but I'm going to find a new way. But today could be the last day of anybody's life. We don't know. It's sad to say. We don't. Here's the thing. No one's guaranteed when we're going to go. Right? We don't know the day of our passing. And again, we also, we could live for a long time too. Let's be positive. The idea is, why waste one moment of this earth, one time being upset? There's so much opportunity to the people that have their mind open and believe. Today, Jim Rohn's video that I played inside the trading group was about mindset. And he made a really good point about working out. He said, when you start working out, he says, do you just, and again, I might actually cut into a long here. He says, but when you start working out, you know, do you just have a perfect body and then you work out? No, it's like you work out slowly and then eventually you get a perfect body, right? So it's like being rich. Like, you get rich. The whole point is you tell yourself you're going to get in shape and then you start working out. And what happens? You get in shape. Agreed? Same thing with getting rich. You tell yourself you're going to get rich. You change your mindset, and lo and behold, a year or two later, you have way more than you've ever had. You're making decisions. You're seeing obstacles as opportunities. See, study the mind of a wealthy person. They are constantly finding opportunities. They're saying, hey, I got to find the opportunity here. I got to find the opportunity. They're training their brain to find opportunity at every single moment in time. That's why when the market's horrible, they're still able to find gains because they're telling themselves there's opportunity out here. Everyone else, and again, when everyone else thinks there's not opportunity, that's when the best entrepreneurs make the most money. Because the competition disappears, right? The competition disappears when the sentiment is down, when people don't care. And almost every asset, every industry, no matter what it is. So if you can find the silver lining and push through, then that's really gonna separate you from the herd. I'm not going to make that trade there. It looks a little sketchy at the moment, but there's a chance that 2 to make could get us a bit of a short squeeze. Let me get back into brass tacks and do my top-down analysis before I get too crazy. Still a chance we're making a descending triangle here that could eventually form to the downside, so it's not all love right now. You see this? You'd like to say a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder like a lower running inverted, but is that guaranteed? No. Shout out to the lifers, life forever, legends never die. Amen. God bless you, man. Thank you. Listen to Sam. He'll make you rich. Shout out to Charmander. How many people got rich watching the stream and getting education? How many people got rich watching the stream and getting education over the years? Anybody else? Anybody literally was like, dude, I got rich watching you. Like, I started and I wasn't rich. I'm rich now. Anybody out there? We got a 333 for any rich people that have been watching the stream. I helped you on your way. It pushed you. Maybe it changed your mindset. Something happened, but you can say, you know what? When I started watching the stream, I noticed my mind change and I started getting loaded. And it's not about money. It's about achieving financial freedom. It's about not listening to what else someone tells you to do. And look at these 333s pouring in. Shout out to Aaron, Hidden Treasure. Shout out to Ichimoku Cloud. Shout out to Ken C. And again, even if you're not rich yet, you've changed your mindset by being around me, which means you are on your way to getting wealthy. Because once your mind's changed, you're on your way. You are on your way. God bless everybody on the live. We appreciate you. We love you. And we can't wait to keep sharing this awesome information. Let's jump on in. Tomorrow, we will be doing the monthly candle close tomorrow night, right? That's Friday night. I will be working tirelessly for you. So you'll have 6 streams in the next 3 days. 2 streams on Friday, 2 streams on Saturday, and 2 streams on Sunday. I tell you what, that is going to be pretty awesome. All right. There we go. So let's take a look here at Bitcoin in these crucial times on the monthly. Monthly looks like a bearish engulfing candle, right? I mean, failure pattern too on the swing. I mean, that looks horrible. You got resistance now at 93,000 on the monthly. Can you come all the way back down to the 21-day moving average? I could see 60K, 67K. Definitely looks likely here for Bitcoin. Right, the pullback is upon us. Use wick to wick here, and your Fibonacci levels somewhere at 69,000. A dagger wick to 60K, even 58K. Remember when we were here and I was talking that we could go to 48,000 and nobody believed me? I kept saying, hey, you got to be ready. I said, you got to be open-minded that we could get a wick down to the 618. I said, heck, we could go to 40K. I said, if you took this wick there from that impulse, I said, hey, don't be surprised if we take a 786 bounce down to 45,000. We had ripped. It was all green. We were at 72. Nobody believed me. Everybody thought it was absolutely insane. Same idea here. A wick down to 40 to 61K. A wick down to 59, 58. So put your limit orders. Get ready to stack. These could be some of the greatest opportunities to snatch BTC as the monthly comes back to support here and resets for a major cycle. Or is this the beginning of the end? Like, is this a bear market? Does Bitcoin bear out here? I firmly believe it's not. But at the same time, if we end up closing a daily candle below here, I would expect a dead cat bounce somewhere here. And that's what I would I feel like we would have to be entering the market. So if we take out these lows, because there's a high, a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, boom, right? But if we take out this low, that will be the end of the uptrend. And then, yes, I mean, that would be some sketchy business, right? So there is a chance we are entering a bear market. I mean, I got to be honest, right? If we did enter a bear market, it would look like this. And we would enter a bear market. So, right, you have to be, this would be the door of the bear market. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm not trying to tell you guys what's going to happen. If we went into a bear market, is this not how it would start? Wouldn't we get a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly? Put a 333 if you agree with me that this is the look of how a bear market would begin. I'm not saying that's a guarantee. I'm just saying put a 333 if you agree that this isn't how a bull market starts, is it? You see what I'm saying? Tell me what you think here, because I'd like to see what you think. Some people say no. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. I assume that you guys are going to say something that's not true. You are not wrong. 333 on point. Yeah. So I'm just saying, if we did have a bear market, this is how it would start. You would have a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly time frame. Look, I mean, this was here. Look at the bearish engulfing here on the monthly. Again, we did get a reversal after that insanity. So it does mean we might just get a move, but then there's going to be some major div on the bigger time frames. There's already some div here. Again, the monthly didn't get into the shaded region yet, too. We usually do that. I've gone over why I believe we're firmly not in a bear market based off the pi cycle top. But again, anything is possible, right? I'm going off data that's 10 years old. Maybe we're in the middle of a different part of a different cycle, and 20 years later we'll look back and realize it was like, it could have been 3-6 year cycles. That kind, I'm open-minded to be open-minded to be open-minded. So once you believe anything could be true, then you got to believe anything could be true. And then you just have to narrow down probabilities. So like right now, I believe what I believe to be true in life, about the earth, about money, but it can all change if the probabilities change. Right now, I'm basing my reality on probabilities. So right now, the monthly, sketchy as all heck. You can't say it's not. The 2-week chart as well, coming back down to the 21-day moving average. Could just be making a flag, but, nonetheless, it's broken some key levels. It's lost support. You can't say it didn't. And then back to the weekly. And here we are back to the weekly saying, hey, if you can't get back above 93,700, then you got to expect more downside, right? It's just not a good look. So it's not a fan. Not a fan. And so Bitcoin on the weekly has to close a weekly candle above, 93.8. Let's see, 93.738 is where this candle opened. So 93.7. You can't get back above 93.7, so that's going to be a thorn in our side. 93.7, you're going to hear me say that. Remember, it was 97.2, 97.2, 97.2. And again, remember, we lost 97.2. That was the door to the bull in the bear market. Every time we were below 97.2, I was like, yeah. Every time we were back above it, I was like, we can get to 98.5. And I knew once we got above 98.5 and held it, we would be gone. We couldn't hold 98.5 that Friday. I always remember it. We got back above 98.5 and then to the downside. And that's what happened. There's still tons of money to be made. Like, I made some of my bigger trade last night. So stay open-minded, everybody. I made $6,000 in two days. You can do this. Push your mind to it. And you can say, oh, but you're money bag, Sam. You got tons of money. Yeah, I used some money to do it. I did use like $20,000 to trade KAITO. All right, I'll be honest, but I only used like $4,000 to make, maybe like 6 or 7 grand to make the $3,000. I get it. I use some capital, but the probability, it's about the percentages as well. So even if we're bearish, even if we're extremely bearish, you would expect some type of bounce, create the flag, and then and then we could bounce on out of here. We could make an inverted head and shoulder on a wick dip. So I'm open-minded, but you got to start understanding. And remember when I said once you're below the 22-hour time frame, I'm a bear. And I said that the best hedge you could do is just put a short on the other side, and that would have been one of the best trades of your life right there. The 22-hour time frame when it got below the 200 MA. If you can just use the 200 MA in one time frame and really just Like if you could do me a favor and go make a chart right now, go make a chart. So right now, duplicate what you're doing. Okay. Delete all the indicators off the chart. Just get rid of them. All right. Go to like the weekly, double click it. And then go to your templates here, your indicators, type in MA, add one moving average, simple. Okay. Turn it yellow, make it a thickness, go to the inputs, flip it to 200. And literally just use every time we got above it, like right there, you open up a long with a stop beneath the previous support or resistance, like right there. That would have been one of the massive changes of your life. It took some time and it would have taken some patience, but you just sit like $3,000 for $9,000, and then I could have made 50. It could have been one of the biggest trades of your life, right? And then here, same idea. Like we get above it, but once we lose it, you just put a stop here. And that thing might end up becoming one of a boss trade too. And what you want to do now is you want to go up to your template, save indicator, and you want to call it Lifer Simple 200 MA, right? And save that. And now you have like the most simple chart that you've ever had. You could use the VRVP too, because I think that's great. Like look at the gap there. And you trade one indicator, one time frame, you cleanse your mind, and life becomes a lot more simple. And you start to see things for what they are. Now, this takes discipline and time, and it's not easy, and it can look so perfect. I get it. But trust me, if you really put in the work, that can save your life. Anyway, today I saw a beginner upset in the trading group saying, I thought I came here for like this step-by-step, and I see a lot of videos, but I'm a little unorganized. So today I want to do something for the beginner once we're done with the top-down analysis. So stay tuned. We're going to just show you how we set up the chart. We're going to go through it all very, very basic. We're going to help anyone who feels lost. We're going to slow down a little bit for you today and bring you up to speed. We're going to do it pretty quick for all you people that are watching. All right. So, and we're going to make sure that you're in a good place mentally and professionally. All right. Okay. God bless my mom and dad. They passed away last 2 years. I love them so much, and I just wish them the best. I know they're always watching, and they're proud of what their son has accomplished. And thank you, Mom. I love you, and I'll see you not too long from now, right? Let's take a look at the 12-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame. So right now we're looking for the bounce. We can clearly see there's a resistance on the 4-hour, because look, bounce, almost a bounce there, and we had a resistance right there. So Bitcoin has trouble at 89,000, really 89 even. Was that 89? No, 89.5. Yeah, 89.3. Yeah, 89.400. So you got to get back above 89,004 to remain bullish. I saw the 4-hour last night with the reversal off of this what's called bullish divergence. You have an uptrend on the RSI, but a downtrend in price action had a key support at about 83,000. So it told me, hey, but last night I was up 2,400, took it out, let the other one ride. And like a smart trader who's been around a long time, decided to pay myself. Yeah, of course, in the back of my mind, it said, but what if it goes all the way up and then you can't show everyone all the massive gains? And my ego tried to keep me in the trade so I could show everyone how a great trader I am, right? And then the smart, like old man who has $3 came out and he was like, who cares, Sam? Stop worrying about what everyone else thinks of you. Get your money, brother. I said, you know what? If you get your money today, you're going to be able to show up on the live up $3,000. I said, if you let it ride, you'll never know. I said, you'll be guaranteed to have a commercial for your trading group tomorrow if you take the money now. I said, that's a pretty smart decision, Sammy. I said, Sam, take the money. I have these conversations with myself all the time. I am, you guys watch me. I'm basically in a fishbowl. People are watching me because I don't take a day off, so everyone sees almost everything I do. That's why I love when people try to criticize and scrutinize here, the whole group here and people in the channel, because we'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to keep doing it every day. So you can say what you want. Like, we're just going to keep doing it. And eventually, some of my biggest haters became some of the people, the most consistent people that watch the channel. Because Because you hate, but then you're like, but he's here again. And eventually you take a trade. Eventually you learn something. And eventually you say, man, this guy's back-tested it for so long. I personally didn't get him. I personally didn't understand. But over time, he's beat me down with the knowledge. I just can't fight his knowledge. It makes sense. You know, it happens all the time. So don't worry if you're one of those people. It happens. I expect it to happen. I expect you to be skeptical at first and to fall in order once the data pins you. So look, can we get back down to the 21-day moving average on the 4-hour time frame? It suggests that we could. We're getting a little overbought, though. My key was when you pump away for the 21, you're going to come back to it. So my idea is this. Everyone's looking to me to figure out, are we making a descending triangle here, Sammy? And are they going to take us down, down, down? Right? And fulfill those orders down at 76,000. Which does look most likely. And do we enter the trade right now with a stop at the other high? Because you kind of have to make these decisions before it's too late, sad to say. And you have to make decisions when you're under the gun a little bit. Last night when I made that trade, I could have lost heavily, who knows? But I had the guts to take the trade. Scared money, make no money. So, I see two things that are possible. I see a beautiful bullish div, but a resistance there. Like, you got to flip that and rip that. I see the chance of a shoulder ahead and a possible right shoulder to get us out of the zone in a reversal pattern. And I see a really pretty strong bullish div on this 4-hour time frame. And it even came in on the indicator here. MACD wants to turn. But where are the buyers really? Are they? Where are, guys like me are nibbling. But do we have institutional support? I saw the biggest outflow, I think, yesterday, 807 million. Almost $1 billion outflow or something crazy, right? Big money flowing out of ETFs yesterday. I think it was the biggest day of outflows. And you're getting overbought on the stochastics, and you kind of hit a lower high there. So I'm starting to see some bearishness. I have to be honest. And that's why I closed my 2 trades that I was in, because I said, it just looks likely. Shout out to Rave Song Records. Thank you. And Mr. Butters say, for all the new people, it's worth the $3 a day they don't even mind it. It makes itself back almost instantly. Not financial advice. That's just my experience. Thank you, Mr. Butters, man. But you're probably a disciplined, focused person too, right? And there's got to be you were disciplined and focused, and you desired to win. So you were going to come in to win, and you made the Discord work for you. And that's the type of person that we want around in the trading group. So I'm getting rid of this right now because it's a speculative long at the present moment in time. We'll take a look at what's happening here on the 1-hour time frame. And the 1 hour does suggest that we're in another symmetrical triangle. So this has been the home of symmetrical triangles. Oh my gosh, shout out to St. John's clinching. They had to share the conference title, though. I don't want to do that. We don't want to share. Remember, Patino said, we're not about sharing last night. He said, I like to share other things. I'm not sharing anything here. We're going all the way to the top over here. He had the New York accent with the gangster with the pocket square. You see him? Rick Pitino's no joke, man. Shout out to St. John's taking down Butler again. I think they're number 7 in the nation right now. St. Jizzy, St. John's, baby. Doing damage, man. So look, this is a bit of a cup and handle. The Sammy cup and handy, and it looks like it's roasting a bit here. And they may just go snipe these shorts with a right shoulder. So the bullish scenario is you make this right shoulder and you snipe up to the 200 MA. You get through this gap here and you snatch some liquidity up here. That is the most, that's what we're looking for. Is that going to happen for sure? Obviously, nothing's guaranteed, but that's what the bulls want. Besides that, you could go up and get tight. If this starts to stay tight in the nose, then you got to know that it could break down. So here's my analysis for you. I was long last night on the reversal. I saw weakness in the move and took profit. However, now we're going sideways and it's showing signs of, a 50-50 pattern. These mainly have been breaking to the downside. These symmetrical triangles, mainly. Like 90% of the time, this is going to end up rolling over and headed back down to 79,000. As optimistic as I want to become, as much as I want to call for the reversal and be so bullish, you do kind of have to remain more bearish until the bulls can get you back above at least this point of control at 89K. You've got new resistance now that you didn't have before. Just like when you broke back above 97.2. We were bullish for those 2-3 weeks, and we did pump to 110 because I said we got back above weekly support. You're back below weekly support. You have to remain bearish now. Understand? You got to remain bearish at the present moment in time. So to me, it does look most likely like this short will play out, turn into a descending triangle on the bigger time frame, a symmetrical. 90% of the time, these symmetrical triangles have been breaking to the downside. 90%. So there's a 90% chance you're going down. 79,000, 76K. And BOOKMAP has all that liquidity right down there for you, all the way to 74,800, 74,600. Okay. I had a theory there will be two classes in the future, those who hold Bitcoin and those who don't. Which class will you be in? Shout out to Jason Parrish. Yeah, you got to pay attention. Right now, accumulation between 50 and 90,000 for me, and everyone would spit their coffee on me like, this guy's, but I got a long-term plan. That's a 10-year hold. The Bitcoins I buy now will be given 10 years, it'll be addressed in my estate planning. So and there you have it. So Bitcoin low, high, higher, low, getting tight, symmetrical triangle, little pump there to the upside. And so that's what I see happening here on the 1 hour time frame. You might even make kind of a V-shaped recovery out of that. And the 5 minute is back above the 200 MA. I can almost guarantee it just by looking at this. 7 minute too as well, the 5 minute, but it's toying with it, remember? So this is my model though. My model is when the 5 minute breaks above the 200, I trade when the 21 comes into the flag, and I'll be honest, I'd say 70% of the time, that's going to break out for you to the upside, but you want to trade it on the best liquidity times. And there's different times of liquidity, right? Our Asian session, 8 to 12, right? You got London, 2 to 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You got the New York session, 9:30 to 12, the lunchtime, 12 to 1:30, and then you're 1:30 to 4, right? And then back at it again to Asian London. And we go through the cycle again. Asia, London, New York. Asia, London, New York. Asia, London, New York, right? Knowing when these sessions open and close is key to liquidity runs. That's when the injection of money is flowed from the banking system into the investment sector. You want to be around during those sections so you can take advantage of the moves. When they liquidate the masses, the herds, and make the move, that's where you can make the most amount of money. That's why trading Monday afternoon for me, Monday nights into the Asian session, and 12 o'clock at New York Day Open is one of my favorite things to do. You do you, though, all right? But I'll teach you all these different things about time frames, liquidity, and zoning. That'll kind of make you, a shark when it comes to why you should open trades and when. You can open a flag whenever you want, and there'll still be somewhat of a probability, but you have an even higher probability if you open up the flag at liquidity, time injection of liquidity. So that's why we're using BOOKMAP too, because we can see where the liquidity is in conjunction with the injection of liquidity. Those two things are a cheat code. There's a reason why I see the market the way I do, and I can teach you, but you got to pay attention. It's not all getting telegraphed perfectly. You got to be here. You got to take it in. You got to let your subconscious mind absorb this information and change the way you think. If you're fighting it, if you're against it, if you're doing all that other YouTube stuff, this guy, blah, 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 you got to be here to learn. You got to be ready to push yourself. If you're ready, I'm here for you. If you want to live in doubt, up and downs, and be low frequency, I can't help you. I can't do much for you. I want to be around high frequency people that believe in themselves, that are ready to push themselves. If that's you, I want to be around you. I don't want to be around low frequency people that don't believe in themselves. I'll help you believe in yourself. So, I don't mind hanging out with you. I can get you going. But, to my close friends, people around me are go-getters, people that have ideas, people that motivate, people that want to keep moving. So, and I have no idea what's going to happen today. I watch price action. Price action will teach me what's likely going to happen. I almost feel like it broke out, fake out back inside the pattern here. What I do know is if the 5 minute can't hold the 200 MA, we'll dump. If we can flag above it, we have a good chance of a move later on today. And you don't even, if you traded like me last night and you made massive gains, take the day off. Go take your wife to lunch or something, if you're, celebrate your wins. Don't get overconfident. Don't overtrade just because you're happy-go-lucky. Next 6 months going to be a trader's dream. Not much for holders. You know, honestly, the volatility has been absolutely amazing. It really has. So, God bless all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in, staying positive no matter what in these crazy times. So, yeah, I've got mixed signals. I'm a little more bearish than bullish at the end of the day. And I'm watching the symmetrical triangle on the 1 hour time frame, which to me is more likely to dump than pump. At the end of the day, Bitcoin's got to get back above 87,000. You know, right there, 180. It's just got to push through that resistance to even take it somewhat seriously. Get to that POC on the 1 hour at 89K. Bitcoin, baby, Bitcoin. And I'm just going to get rid of that line because it's funky. And so far, you are getting a bit of a bounce here on the 1 hour time frame. It is a cup and handle. See, cup and handle. And that is our reversal pattern. Slight shoulder head, you know, attempting to make that right shoulder. So that's why I say, hey, if you really want to be a stickler, you know, and again, I don't know how this flag's going to go. It might be up or down, but, you know, you flag out this 5 minute time frame. So is there a trade to be had here? I would caution people not to trade because it's Thursday. But if there is a trade to be had, it would be looking for this to make a right shoulder, see? And somewhat like hang out on top of that 200 MA. Otherwise, it's going to lose the right shoulder. The bearish scenario, let me just show you your real bearish scenario is this is a bear flag right here. And you're about to dump hard all the way back down to the bottom of this pattern. That looks most likely back to 84. But that's why I would watch the small time frame flag here. But see, every time you're below that dumpies, can you make the right shoulder is the question. So definitely mixed signals on a Thursday, lower volume. It may not be my favorite day to jump on into a long. Lately, it's been fun to trade live, so I'm always like, let's do it, you know. If I do see my let me see, can I set up for a signal? I try to cleanse my brain and see if I see what you know. So yeah, I mean, they're toying with me. I mean, they're toying with a signal of mine, but it's not fresh enough. I'd like it if it was up a bit. Like if this flag was occurring somewhere up in here. What's this line here? That's the smooth moving average. I'll teach you how to use the smooth after you get, you know, really, really, you know, start to get comfortable with the simple, the 200 simple. Remember, at around 11:15, I'm going to just go over the beginner stuff to help the beginner. Any beginner who's lost, feels like they need that step-by-step process. I got it for you. Don't worry. I heard your call. I'm here for you. I'm here every single day. You know, people who join my trading group and they say, things aren't what I want. I can't seem to get that, you know. And it's like, I'm here. I'm live every day. Where else do you get a trading group or any business where the owner of the business, the informative, informational person can be accessed 2 hours a day for $1.99? Yes, I mean, for $1.99, you throw a super chat here and you get my undivided attention. I will answer your question. You see what I'm saying? There's just no excuse here not to push yourself to the limit. Hey, love the content. If you don't mind, could you do a technical analysis on SWI? I'm long at 289. Thank you. Trust the lad for 14. Let's take a look at SWI for you. SWI, baby, SWI. And it could get to 86,800 as Bitcoin. So this is, if there is a long, and I'm more bullishly biased, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this right shoulder. Technically, it would be the aggressive entry would be now. Looking for something like this here. So the take profit would be 86,800 for Bitcoin. 802. The stop would be somewhere at 85 to 87. I'm highly likely right now not taking this trade. Right now, the odds are very low. If something changes, the odds will change. In the next 5 minutes, my computation could change. My brain might go, you know, and see something differently. Candles can open and close. Key levels can be held. Boom. What I am going to do is I'm not going to give what I made last night and risk $2,000, you know. $188 for 781. And as of right now, I'm sitting pretty. I'm not making the trade. If there is a trade, that's something I'd be looking at. So every time I make a trade, I propose the trade in my mind beforehand. I draw it out, I visualize it, and I see if is that something that looked like something I've won before. If it does resemble a previous structure with probability, then I may take it. If it doesn't, then I don't take it. Or if the risk-reward ratio doesn't fall, or if a supportive resistance isn't holding. And yes, I mean, losing the 2 you could flip short right now and short that puppy down. Like I said here on the bigger time frame, it does look like this is headed back down to the bottom of the channel. You're overbought here, and you're below the 200 MA. Whenever you're overbought in the Stokes, below the 200 MA, it's more likely you're going to fall further to the downside. Had that stayed above it, played out, went sideways, the Stokes reset, then that would have told me the flag is ready to trade, and you would have traded the probability of that flag. Price action will tell me exactly what to do. I just watch it. It'll teach you. And sometimes you may be confused. Sometimes you may know what to do. Fine, then don't trade. You're not an encyclopedia. I don't care if you do it as long as me. There's going to be a day where you're not sure. That's okay. You're a human being. Only trade the days where you feel a little more sure, where the probabilities feel right. You see what I'm saying? And it's not about feeling, but you definitely have to use your subconscious mind in how you trade. There's going to be times where you're like, yes, I've seen this many times. I'm going to take the right shoulder. And there's going to be times where you're like, you know what? That's a failed pattern. And it should have went up by now. And I'm not going to take that trade because I don't see... It looks like it's a failure pattern to me. I tell you, though, I live and die by these 200 MAs. We get above that and start flagging out, then it just tells me, man, this thing's going to probably moon. Remember, we're looking for this right shoulder. Don't give up on the key ideas. It's easy to lose focus in this crazy world. People will remember, I'm looking for the right shoulder. They'll watch 2 TikTok videos and make some lunch, and they'll forget all about the right shoulder. Hours later, the thing will be up, and they're like, damn, I couldn't. That used to happen to me. Don't worry, it's going to happen to you. You're going to slowly get better at focusing your mind on the pattern that you're looking for and maintaining that focus. The real reason why I make more money or stay, constantly finding a way to make gains is because I focus on the charting. I remind myself. I might even draw the shoulder on my desk. I might put a card on my hand and look at it every 10 minutes to remind myself, you're waiting on that right shoulder, Sammy. Don't forget about it. It can happen in a flash. 20 minutes could go by, a big candle. Next thing you're like, man, I missed the right shoulder again. Trust me, I've been through all the pains and ups and downs that you feel. Like you had it, you mapped it out, you missed it. You had it, you mapped it out, you missed it. That happened to me for like a couple years. I was so sick of missing the same thing. And eventually your subconscious mind, you go to bed at night and it works on all the things you missed. And it starts replaying all the things that gone in and out. And eventually you're like, you don't miss, you hit. And you get this feeling of adrenaline. And you're like, man, my mind's working for me. And you realize it's just because of you gave your mind so much repetition that it starts to play out for you. You go onto autopilot in some way, shape, or form. And this is what I'm trying to teach you about wealth creation. It starts with reprogramming your subconscious mind. What are your ideas about money? Where did you get them from? Who taught you them? Mine came from my parents, my dad, the school, and a lot of middle-class people that I grew up around in West Roxbury, Boston, right? I didn't have a lot of multimillionaires and millionaires hanging out with me. Most people were middle-class people, and they told me great ideas, but they were middle-class ideas that kind of kept me middle-class. I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to put down anyone who's middle-class. I grew up, but I'm trying to say that it was the mentality that I thought anyone who's rich basically had a rich uncle or father that invested in them. That it was very unlikely for a middle-class person to move through tax brackets. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have, my cousin wasn't like, become an entrepreneur, do anything you want. My dad wanted to become like a rock star. He's like, take a guitar and go around the country. He believed that I could do something with myself against, I didn't have to follow the rules. So we're looking on this flag, just so you know, I'd like to entertain you while we're talking. This is entertainment. Please look at MTSU, Leverage 2X Master ETF. Let's take a look at MTSU. Thank you so much for asking. And that's going to be a ETF opportunity. All right. T-Rex Long mastering, on the CFI there. And I just want to see if it had a better chart there with the CBOE. Yeah, it looks a little better. I mean, you're not buying the top, right? It's getting very tight. But it also doesn't have a lot of support, personally. Pretty new. Resistance. I mean, if you believe Michael Saylor will bail his way out, then you believe that this is a buy, right? If you believe that Bitcoin's going to zero, then this is a no-go, right? It's a short. My idea is we could see lower prices, but this looks like you'll get a bump at least, come back down, go sideways, and then eventually, but it says that's an accumulation zone if you believe in Bitcoin. It's really that simple. If you truly believe in Bitcoin, then bang, right? I don't want to be rich. I just want to be financially free. Unfortunately, you're going to have to probably be rich to do that. Yeah. I don't even know what that word means, honestly, rich though, right? Exactly. Freedom. I call them freedom tokens. Like if you can fly where you want, you got a freedom token. If you can work from wherever you need because you can build a studio, do what you want, you got a freedom token. If you can use your voice around the world, you got yourself a freedom token. If you're able to produce wealth, I mean, the point is, money isn't about money. They're called freedom tokens. It's just, and it's about disciplining yourself. It's about finding who you are. Don't you get that? Everyone here, I know your destiny is to be amazing and great because that's what God wants you to do. He wants you to bring your light to the world and show everyone how amazing you are. We all deserve your amazing self. We don't deserve your mediocre self. We deserve your multimillionaire entrepreneurial self. We don't deserve your oh well self. I'm just going to sit here and be like that. We deserve you to be amazing, right? I want to see your amazing self. Like, why can't the world have the best of you? Why would you hold back and only give us like a little bit of you? I want the crypto lifer in you. I want the lifer in you to come out and change the world because I know you can. I could have sat in the cubicle I was in and never done this channel and never yapped all day, right, like I am today, and people tell me to shut up, but I didn't. I kept running my mouth, and now look where I'm at now. So, it's about believing in yourself and pushing yourself. And this is the saddest and the most beautiful thing about what I'm going to say to you right now is nobody cares. Nobody knows who you truly are. Like, I knew there was a lion inside of me, and I was working a night shift, making mediocre money, just kind of chilling. My two good friends started a business, and we're just behemoths, and we're going after it. And I was just like, and I knew that I was a lion. I knew that I had the entrepreneurial spirit and that trader instinct, and I just knew I had it. But I lived a life of mediocrity for comfort because I wasn't willing to break out of my comfort zone. I wanted the easy way. I wanted it to feel good. And I sacrificed gains and opportunity for comfort, for years of comfort, my friends. And that creates disease and pain. And eventually I realized that I wasn't going to get anywhere in life if I kept giving myself my comfortable life. I was going to have to break out of uncomfortability and find a way if I was going to achieve something bigger in my life. So you're going to have to find uncomfortability. You're going to have to push yourself to places you don't want to go. There may be some big trades you lose. It may hurt. But there's no failure, only feedback. I said today on the Twitter, and I believe this, failure is not the opposite of success. People really think when you fail, it's the opposite of success. People that fail, that's, you're either a winner or you're a loser. But it's just not true. People that are winners, the successful people in life have failed more than the other people have even tried. They're just people who fail better than you. Successful people are just better at failing than you. That's it. They've learned how to fail and turn every fail into an obstacle. How can I find a way out? How can this help me? How can I trust my brain to push myself even though it doesn't look good right now? An entrepreneur keeps finding a way to find a solution. You say, how can I change the world? What can I give the world? I didn't come out to get rich when I started YouTube. I said I'm a beautiful person with a love spirit for my mom. How can I give that to everybody and the way that fulfills me? And thus, this is how I did it. And it all followed. Like the money followed, the people followed, the attention, all that came. But I never started this for money. I started this for the belief that I could help other people get out of the rut that they were in. My why is I was in what is my why? Everyone says, why do you do this, Sam? Why are you live every day? Because I was depressed, and it had a lot to do with investing. I was depressed. I wanted more money because I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to wear nice suits. I wanted to feel amazing. I wanted to believe I was an amazing guy. I didn't want to live a regular life. And I knew I couldn't do it on the paycheck I was making. I was going to have to find a way to win. And I found investing was interesting. I got very hooked on it. I made my first trade, $2,000 to $9,000, and I couldn't believe what happened. I said, oh my God, this is how they're doing it. They're turning $100,000 into $900,000. And it got me very, very excited. So we're just still watching this flag right now. Thursdays are slow. You know, you're watching this flag. It's just you want to see if the flag can get back above the 200 MA as it's coming in conjunction with the 21-day moving average. We're looking for this right shoulder. Nothing has changed. We haven't changed the charts. As I'm talking, I'm not changing the charts. I'm not rambling. I'm teaching you how to change your life. I'm giving you positive mindset affirmation to rework your subconscious mind. Help me rework your subconscious mind. Don't fight it. Let it in. By the grace of God, I'm here every single day. I'm telling you, this is going to be the challenge, to keep yourself positive when everyone else isn't. This is how you make millions of dollars. It's your mindset. Back to the basics that we started with. A person that lifts weights, they think they're going to start getting in shape, and they go out there and then they get into shape. Their mind changes first, then they get into shape. They don't get into shape and change their mind. It's the same thing with getting rich. You have to get rich in your mind first, then your life will follow. You're not going to get rich and then believe you're rich then. It doesn't work like that. It has to start in the mind. Bitcoin's still inside of a flag. Teaching you about your mind while we watch this flag is the best thing I can do for you, but you don't understand that. You want more. You don't understand that the subconscious mind needs to be trained. Let's get back into brass tacks here, though, and we will see what's hot on the day. I'm still hanging on to this flag idea here that we could get a breakout. I may pony up on a live trade here. You never know. It's set in motion. I have all the prerequisites for the trade in place. I'm up for the day too, so just oh well, I could lose $300 today. 10% of what I made, no worries. I'd like to take this trade live in front of you. I'm getting close to it. It's slowly passing the sniff test. It should have dumped by now. You got a low, you got a high, you got a higher low. I could just play the higher low and go for it. You see what I'm saying? I'm just trading the higher low. But it's Thursday, low volume. They could just stop, hunch you, rip it back up, and then fly. If we get above the 200 MA, that's a catalyst for a pump. I like the 21 touching, though. When the 21 touches, that's a good sign. Let me take a look at my 1 minute. I mean, it's a Sammy Cup and handy, right? 1 minute looks like you could fly, too. Bit of a slanted Adam and Eve. See, there's a triangle and I know it's far-fetched, but it's there in my mind. If I can see it, I can believe it. It's a 7-to-1 risk-reward ratio if had I got in on the wick. Now it's a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Still like to be below that wick, though. 173 for 730. I like the 7373. It's got me. Buy the red, buy the red. Remember, though, below the 200 MA, this could just dump in 2 seconds. We're in a symmetrical triangle at the end of the day. These mainly dump. So if we play this by the book, symmetrical triangle, we're either going down to 84K or up. These mainly dump to the downside, and you got liquidity below. And you're below the 200 MA. So unless that 200 MA cracks, I would not long. You see what I'm saying? The probability tells you you're going down to 84,000. That's what the probability says. I backtested it for years. These shapes break down 90% of the time. You're in one of these shapes. And there's liquidity down here. And you're below the 200 MA. All right? I still know at any moment they get above it, I'll long, and they'll flip it up for a short squeeze. I don't have to know what they're going to do to price to be able to trade it properly. I just have to have a system to trade it. I have to have a model in which I can repetitively find over and over again. That's the key. That's what all your traders that you watch do. No matter who they are, God bless them all, they all have somewhat of a model, something that they plan out beforehand. A Fibonacci retracement that they like, in conjunction with, basically, uneven butt cheeks. You see what I'm saying? Divergence. Oh, I made a skit that I got to put out today that came for something that happened yesterday on the stream. It was pretty funny. And then I'm just overly bullishly biased. I just take bullish trades like insanely when most people don't. So I just want to ape right now because that's just who I am inside. Yeah, I have to fight that crazy bull. And look at, and you always say I'm open-minded. It could go either way. But the trader in me wants to bull it all every single time. Sammy the Bull, man. I'm Aries, the ram, man. I want to ram right through, right? I'm sticking to my short position. I have a stop loss and not afraid to lose a trade. Amen. God bless you. I'm rich because I found an unused coupon book on the side of the road. Hey, man, if you're grateful for small things, more will come into your life for 100% sure. It'll breed positivity. Yeah. Daily open lines up with the 618. Exactly. Yeah, so I've just been backtesting these crazy strategies mainly in the last 11 months more than ever with how we interact with this 200 MA. Tuesday afternoon, Monday night, I'd be in this trade right now, all right? So there she is, yeah. Honestly, I don't need to roast anybody, man. My mom was such a beautiful person, and she just told me to be good to everybody. And so, like, out of memory, in the memory of my mom, like, she told me, don't talk about other people. You know what I mean? Keep other people's names out of your mouth. You know, that's what every time I ask my mom for advice, she says, you know what's right, Sam. You keep other people's names out of your mouth, and you preach positivity, because today could be your last, man. You don't have time to run your mouth. But you do have time to be good to others and to change the world. So I owe it to my mom to be a good man. I owe it to my mother to be a good man. That's who I'm going to be. I wish the best for everybody out there in trading. I wish the best for everybody's YouTube channel. I hope everyone finds their way. There's enough abundance for everybody to be successful out here. We're all in our own little reality zones. Like, I can be successful. You can be successful. But it's going to take a lot of time, and don't think it's going to be easy. You're going to put on some switch and become a YouTube star. It doesn't work like that. A lot of people think it's going to take a year or 2 years. It's probably going to take 4 or 5. It's going to take some time. It's going to take longer than most people can handle it. Just like most people capitulate trading because they can't stay in the market. Very similar to trying to make it in any type of profession to a high level. The average person, 90% of people are going to make it all the way, and then they're going to fail. There's going to be this level where you really need to push yourself on a whole nother level, and you'll get there. I'm so close to taking this trade. I'm talking through this trade in my mind with you guys. We get up with that 200, we boom, 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 boom. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. And then we gap from the 200 SMA to the 200 SMMA, the smooth to the weighted. I'm going to cop it right there so we can move on and I can begin to discuss other things. I was only ranting because I was stuck inside the thought process of whether to get in and out of that trade. All right. All right, a lot going on crypto Twitter lately. Follow me on Twitter. I greatly appreciate it. And look, many people are afraid to start to go after their dreams because fear of failure. They think failure is the opposite of success, but that can be no further from the truth. For failure is the stepping stone to success, not the opposite. Most successful people failed more times than most in their field have tried. What will you fail at today to gain an edge? Right? You'll never learn to walk if you're afraid to fall. Shout out to CC Coins Chick. Exactly. Prolific Joints. Shout out to House of Trades. Shout out to Aliyah. You may fall if you do it, but you definitely will not succeed if you don't do it 100%. I love that. You may fall if you do it, but you definitely won't succeed at all if you don't go at it. You're gonna have to go at it. That thing slipped right there. Look at that. Ooh. Yeah, rejection by the 200 MA. And then it just blah. 50 beans. It's $100. I don't want to look at it. We'll come back. I already made $3,000 last night, so I'm kind of like, I'm in that like airy state where I don't have this like savage feeling to get into an entry. I apologize, but that's why you got to be in the trading group. Some days I'm gonna have eaten my feast already, and I'm just not gonna be too into over trading myself to zero. I'm gonna trade a little bit of amount and see what happens, and we'll go from there. I'm not gonna ape in like, I'm not a fool, man. I'm a grown man with a family. Like, when I'm up, I like to hold those gains and find out what's going to come next, especially on a Thursday with low volume. And I got a pretty good handle on what's happening and where we're going. It does look again, to reassess, it looks like we could make a right shoulder and break out. However, the idea is this is going to make us symmetrical and dump further to the downside. The idea is likely going to 79 to 76,000 for Bitcoin. Again, I could be wrong. I know nothing but the fact about ignorance. Please don't say that I told you what was going to happen and I said for a fact this is what Bitcoin's going to do. I have no clue what Bitcoin's going to do. I really don't. I just look at it every single day, one step, one day, one moment at a time. And BOOKMAP and the charts are telling me there's going to be a dump somewhere down to 74,000. May want to start building a short right now with stops above 87,000 while I'm closer to it. So, and right now a rejection by the 200 MA. And in me, I usually wait to get above that 200 because I know when you don't get above it, you usually don't. Oh wow, and the 1 minute's below the 200. I didn't even realize. So it's a kind of bearish. And you're in this flag already that looks like it's breaking the trend line. Does look more bearish. See, I'm just a perma bull, man. I really am. Like, I over bullish trade. That's why I open tiny ones, I guess, just to like, it's almost like I need that hit of dopamine. I need the bull. I need to think it could be bullish. It's just because of the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin I hold always tells me to be more bullish than bearish, even when I know it's bearish. It's so crazy. Like, that looks bearish to me. I should just open up a fat short and let it run. But I have to be so stubborn and say, but what if the 5 minute just breaks the 200? But what if? What if they pump it and I miss the pump because I'm just a perma bull? So the charts are telling me dump. Even this, look, this is a symmetrical triangle. They mainly dump to the downside. And you're below the 200 MA. But I'm long anyway. You see what I'm saying? I can't tell you what to do over here. And watch it then get above the 200 short squeeze and I win the trade. And I'll be like, how? I don't know. Am I psychic? You know what I mean? Did I see something that I didn't know? How? Why am I? Be honest, some days it is what it is. So that's why I'm only using $100. Because I dang well know it's a bit of a back and forth. But I'm the cup and handle guy. And I see the cup and handle. So, you know, so you're telling me there's a chance, baby. You know, we can get all the way to the upside here. Sam, I'm Aki Wahlberg. I play a cop. I play a fireman. You can't do this, Sam. You can't play like this. You got to tell them to stop. All right, Sam, don't do this. Tom Brady, I told him not to do what that curly hair kid. He did it anyway. He lost all his money with FTX. Tom, what are you doing? You know, I got him with Gala. I got Gala. Me and The Rock got Gala. We're doing fine. We're going to make a bunch of money. Tom, stop doing this. Stop going in with those people, Tommy. You lost your wife and everything. So, you know, Marky, man, chill out, all right? Let's take a look at what's hot right now today in Crypto Rank. It's funny, people keep searching Exterio. However, the price action doesn't do too well. But $25 and $28 million market cap gets me going. Then Story, man, continues to rip up 190%. BERA chain also on the radar. And KAITO holding 240. Unbelievable. Pi Network, too. These are, honestly, it's pretty simple. We traded Story, KAITO, and Pi Network. And I found really good setups on them because they were the strongest coins. Like, it really was pretty simple. The market dump, we found the strongest coins. We traded them. We made gains. You know, I'm not trying to be a genius here. I'm trying to show you just show up every day and do the right thing. Somehow, some way, you're going to find gains, but you got to keep pushing. The key is most people aren't going to stay consistent. They're going to lose. They're going to miss out. Riz Network is on my radar again, too. I like this coin. Had a nice big pumpage. Most visited coin in the last 7 days. Ton coin people are back into looking at again, which is interesting. SWE, of course. Pause, Sonic, which is Phantom rebranded, really started to come back strong. BERA chain, strong from 6 back to 7. So we can kind of see what's worth trading, and then we can kind of look anti-shifty as a brand new coin. Wow, with $1 million market cap, with 4.69 in volume. That's obviously a meme, right? Veritas Protocol, interesting. G Agents AI. I just like seeing what's new. EPAY. What is EPAY? EPAY on base too, $4.53. Look at just ripping. Wow, hold up. I don't know what this is. EPAY, I've never heard of it. KAITO finally getting that pullback from 288, and we were getting in somewhere down there at 161, and that thing ripped. I sold 209 only to watch it go to 281, man. I would have made 20 grand. Instead, I made 3 grand, but so what? You know, I made 3,000. Dear Lord, thank you so much for the 3,000 I did make. Don't beat yourself. I could sit there and be like, I should have, would have, could have made 20 grand. Or I could just be really grateful that I made some money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why that didn't come up there, even though I had the contract address running there. Anybody know that? EPAY? It is on MEXC too. That's interesting. They got MEXC has like every coin that ever existed on Earth. It's crazy. And did I lose the trade already? Yeah, I must have, right? Yeah, they sniped me out. Don't trade on Thursdays. It does look like it's going to dump though. I'll be honest. I'm not as interested in on it. I'll let this dude marinate. Looks like it might take a few hours. So tomorrow we have more data coming out too. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just go sideways. It would be nice if we did bottom there on that liquidation wick, but you never know. You never know. Moving forward, let's take a look at... I wanted to take a look at EPAY here. I don't know what this is. I'll be honest. No one's paid me to talk about it. I'm just curious. Like, I see it flying. Like, it's gone from... It just looks like it's... I don't know what's happening to it. On an absolute tear. Almost looks pretty weird too, like just the candles just never stop. I don't know, it's a bit odd. Makes me almost not even want to trade it. It's like, how is this thing just going up like that? Anyway, I'm always looking, always searching, always attempting to find something interesting. Let's take a look at coin market cap. And tonight we go over token metrics too. We'll scan the market, see what's hot, see if there's anything kind of grooving against the rest of the markets. Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. BERA chain really is the hot coin right now. Hot hand. Mantra DAO keeps doing its thing. Jasmine's holding up pretty well comparatively. Yeah, Cake at $2. Say Celestia at $3.75. Trump coin still holding 13, which ain't that bad comparatively for how much it was, you know. A 7 of its worth, right? Nothing crazy really today. BERA chain, like, you know, and then you can get that visual looking at the bubbles just to see, is there anything out there, you know, wild moving. And basically a red day though, in general. Not much action here for the altcoins. So, you know, Bitcoin was the fun thing to trade. Looks like it may be trying to lose 85K now. Yeah, there's the dump. So again, remember what I said? I said the probability was this is going to dump, but I traded bullishly anyway because I'm a perma bull, stubborn, you know, bang my head against the wall bull, right? I do that sometimes. You know, you have to understand my personality and understand your personality and then kind of figure out how to trade with what I give you. What I did tell you was this: below the 200 is bearish. Symmetrical triangles break to the downside 90% of the time. We're in one. So it said there was a 90% chance this was dumping. That's what, and then we had liquidity to the downside, right? So it says you're going down. Why am I not short then? Why am I not? Because if my plan wasn't played out and I'm not in the plan, I've trusted myself not to just go jump in right now. You know, I'd have to find another reason to find another way in or another reason why I'm going to get in. But yeah, that looks like you're headed down to 84K, and BOOKMAP suggests a move down to 74, like a really big nasty move. And again, that gives you back to the 1 hour that we're on. Just want to make sure you're clear and covered here and you're not confused and you see exactly what I'm saying. So now everyone's like, he was all over the place. I really wasn't. Like, you know, where was, hold on, BTC. Oh, man. There we go. So yeah, we're watching this symmetrical triangle for Bitcoin. 90% of the time, these are going to dump to the downside. So just like we just saw what happened on the smaller time frame, it's the same story, Morning Glory. Right? I still was open-minded to see if the flags would play out. And again, maybe that is a right shoulder and we pump. I don't know. But what I tell you right now is the probabilities is this is going to dump on you. So if this comes back up and we go sideways, then yeah, I get in here with a stop above there. Looks like if I do get the chance, the probability tells me to take the short and to pay myself nicely there. So I got to tell everybody I'm more likely shorting the market than longing the market. Yeah. And I see a move to the downside for BTC. And I apologize that I'm a perma bull and I tried to go at that flag, but that's just who I am. And you got to understand a little bit about me. And, you know, it reveals who I am. I like that. It says, I am a perma bull. Yeah. If you're a perma bull, you should probably stay away from trading and stick to holding. No. You should never listen to what anyone tells you to do. Especially someone that's on the other side of a YouTube channel flip. Like if you're the one on the YouTube channel with thousands of viewers and the other person's watching you, they maybe want to flip the advice. You know, double bottom 5 minute in the making. Really? We got some perma bulls here. And again, I'm a perma bull. I bought Bitcoin, you know, found out about a 350, bought it below 1,000 and never sold. So like, had I not been a perma bull, I probably never would be at where I'm at right now. So I'm not going to change. Yeah. Take it easy on them over here. Why wouldn't Bitcoin close the CME gap around 79, 78? Why? I mean, hey, great. Why wouldn't it? I think you're spot on with saying that. It usually does. 95% of those gaps do get filled. So you would expect that CME gap to get filled. All right, it's 11:30. I said I would help out the beginners today. We're going to talk about that for a split second. Morning, Sam. I really like IP. Did the deep dive. I bought at the beginning and looking to DCA long term. It's a bullish div of the 4 hour, or am I wrong? Shout out to Kofun 007. You know, I'm almost done. For me, for the rest of my life, I'm going to find coins I really like. I'm going to put like somewhere between 20 and 100 grand in them. And when they go up really big, I'm going to make 100 to 200 grand and I'm going to sell them. And I'm going to say that was great. Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to really hold again, man. I think I'm just going to become a swing trader for the rest of my life and just take advantage of the big ups and downs throughout the markets. I find that's the most money to be had, again, but you got to perfect swing trading. I love swing trading and I'm dang decent at it. My heart has been blackened the last 2 weeks. I'm shorting till I see people with YouTube channels pulling their hairs out. I love it. Yeah, exactly. Till they all fall off. They almost got me. They had me pulling my hair out for a second. But I realized I was the lifer. I don't do that. I realized I win no matter what. And I was like, wait, Sam, you win no matter what? I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, I'm going to win here. I was like, I'm going to find a gain. And bang, I made KAITO. I made the gain. You know, I said, if it dumps, you're going to find a reason to pump. You got this, Sam. I said, you are invincible. And because I'm invincible, I know I am. You see what I'm saying? Like, my mindset creates the outcome. Nobody can stop you if you can't stop yourself. You're your own worst enemy. The only person that can stop you is you. Seriously, the only person that can stop you is you. Let's take a look at the super chats. Make sure I'm not losing any fan funding here from anybody saying something awesome. We have Trust Aloud 14. Hey, love the content. Let's do a technical analysis on SWE. Let's take a look at SWE for my brother. SWE, baby, SWE. All right. First thing I'm going to do is go to the weekly. We're going to open up the charts. And we're going to take a look at everything. RSI is in a decent spot, but could come a little lower, but in a decent spot. Stochastics are pretty low, but could beginning a downtrend, right? Like the last time we just entered here, we kind of had a little more. We talked about it yesterday with some hidden bullish divergence, right, at the moment. However, that could be true all the way up to like there. You see, because, until you get all the way, and then it wouldn't be. So you could still come and you could break even this support. What is that? So first thing you want to do is look at your weekly support and resistance. Right there, you had a spot, and you've wicked to it. So you have some weekly support at 257 that you wicked at. But it's not amazing, and you may come all the way down to 172. And then you got this here going on. Now, there's a chance you bottom, but I wouldn't be surprised if you do go a little lower. And right to that 786 fib at 172. That known famous 786 Fibonacci retracement. Then you got this shoulder head, kind of on the right shoulder there too as well. You've got this, it's slanted sideways like that too. I have seen it play out like that though. But even if you got a little bounce here, it looks like it could be ephemeral, short-lived, and you would kind of go trigger down to this 786 fib level too. Look at your daily time frame. It also shows signs of possible more downside, as well as Bitcoin showing signs of possible more downside as well, right? So Bitcoin showing signs of a dump. See what I'm saying here? Bit of an M pattern, resistance by 357, and then bouncing off that 200 MA. I mean, but that's an M there. You're, tightness. It does look like you're going to end somewhere lower. I can't guarantee it. What if we get a reversal? It's a great place to DCA, like to begin one, like nibble here, like limit orders. Like this is where I would be, 172 to 290 and buy the pain, right? Eventually this, they got a great team. They got a good project. It seems to work wonderful. It's fast, efficient. It's shown its colors against the best chains in the game. SWI is amazing. So the tech hasn't changed for me. I still own my SWI, my deep book. We'll see what happens. I believe in them eventually over time making a move, but looks like there could be a beautiful accumulation time somewhere back to 173 for SWI. And if Bitcoin takes that beat down, you got to understand that everything is going to likely take a beat down. Alchemy Pay has been gaining momentum. Yeah, it has been 100%. Let's take a look at Alchemy Pay here. And you're spot on with bringing up Alchemy Pay. Now, we put out a little flag recently, 7-minute, 5-minute flag, something like that. It did break out nicely for 9%, but then it kind of went sideways, not doing too much, right? But again, at least a trade's a trade, a gain's a gain. It didn't lose money, facts are facts, right? At the end of the day, symmetrical triangles, right, which mainly break down. But you are above the 200 MA, which is somewhat of a bullish sign for me, and you're getting very tight. If I like this project, believe in it, says, hey, this could be a really good accumulation. You're getting tight moving averages above the 200 MA. At the same time, it could, still a symmetrical triangle there. So I don't know. With Bitcoin, I'm getting mixed signals, and that's going to have a lot of people doing that. So it's definitely going to affect the market because people are going to be a little iffy of how they want to trade because they're going to be like, well, with Bitcoin dumps, I don't know if I'm going to take longs here, which will suck liquidity out of the altcoins because people are going to be afraid to trade them. So, I don't know. It looks like you may come back down to the 200 MA there. I'm wary on alts right now. Sam Colin on TradingView. Thank you. KOLIN. I mean, I usually look at KOLIN on Deck Screener just because. But, KOLIN was an amazing project. I believed in it from the start. And I believe that the swarm was going to eventually overtake the internet. Now, if we don't have the attention, see, it needs attention. People need to believe. And then it can farm that attention. But if not many people believe in altcoins or memes, then even this thing could be out there all day, yapping all day, and it's kind of like a guy on a street corner that nobody wants to hear. And I just kind of came up with this now. So when you think about it, it was a great narrative at the time. And honestly, I read it right. It pumped beautifully. Like, if you got in with me, we got in here, and it made a huge gain. Like, it's just up to you if you took profits or not. And now we're somewhere up there at about, I don't know, could you recover back to 4 cents? This is a new narrative. There's a lot of speculation. How many have I ever traded new narratives that come back? A few times, but how much pattern, how much years of backtesting do I have on that? Not a lot. Like, a new narrative, does it do well? It's like I've been through 3 cycles in crypto and narratives come and go. So this tells me this could go to 0, but because the swarm stays alive, I didn't sell it. Let's see if it can rip. But to me, it's over speculation at this point and probably something to be left to the wayside. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor and your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. So I'm looking for the S&P to bounce here, even though it's it's not a popular analysis here. I keep saying this is a beautiful ascending triangle. They're about to start printing money. I think tomorrow we're going to see some bad data that's going to put pressure on the Fed. And again, right now the CME ain't giving us nothing, but that could change. That could change. Right? And what do I mean by that? Well, we're going to look at the CME watch tool and the groups here. We got 20 days till the Fed meeting. Now, right now, they're assessing that they're not going to change the rates, but, right, we'll be flat. But this may be the last flat meeting. I feel like we're going to get a cut on basically, what, May 7th? So they meet March 19th. That's going to be our next big meeting in 20 days. And then May 7th, all right, is going to be our next Fed meeting. I'm honing in on a cut on that. Look, we're already at 25% for a cut. I believe this is going to keep going. Look at June. June, 51% for the cuts. July, so you can see that the market's already pricing in cuts here. And money printer go brr. So hold your horses. Don't be too stressed. The S&P looks like it's going to bounce. By my analysis, this is a higher low. Perfect time to buy. The market right now, we are about to launch. The fear is a perfect place to get in. And everyone's going to say, oh, we thought that was a double top. And we were on the way down, and everyone was bearish, and we all shorted, and they're going to wreck the shorts. They got retail to short. They got retail scared. This is exactly the perfect storm for a bounce. I haven't changed my story on this. I've stayed on this on the S&P for weeks now, despite the rest of the market. Even with the nasty dump, I've stayed bullish on the S&P when everyone else isn't. Let's see what happens. Can Sammy come through with one of the best calls of his life here when we bounce off the bottom? If this bounces off the bottom, the funny thing is when this bounces off the bottom, no one's going to give me credit. No one's going to say a word. Everyone's just going to go business as usual. Man, I called the bottom right here for the S&P. I called the bottom there. I gave you guys the cup and handle before it ripped. It's all back there. You can go back to all my macro analysis calls. October of 2022. Anyway, so I'm still here on the S&P preaching that is likely a bottom. Look at the massive wickage. And nobody wants to hear me. They want to just short the market. Again, maybe I'm wrong. It could be an epic fail. I'll take it. The DXY getting a bit of a bump here, but is it short-lived or is it really, really going to pump? You know, it's right at a resistance level on inside of the channel. You'd like to see it bounce and resist. If it breaks this, though, see, so here's the deal. We do not want to see the DXY back above 107.50. It could pump with Bitcoin. I get it. You know. Can you check S&P if it bounces? Shout out to Infinite Growth. God bless you. Shout out to Carlos Alejandre. Shout out to CoFund 007, Matt Viano. Shout out to Prepaid Team and Trust the Lad. Shout out to everyone that gave today on the channel. You people are absolutely amazing. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. That's absolutely awesome. You know, that looks somewhat bullish, right? You're oversold. You're in the flag. I wanted to make that right shoulder and collapse. I still am looking for this bigger picture idea, like a right shoulder ahead, make a right shoulder, and then send us lower. So it does say it would have to pump a little bit to pull off that idea. All right. All right, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get back into brass tacks here on the charts. And I am going to get to the beginner updates for you, the beginner thing that I wanted to do here. So look, Bitcoin got a bit of a bounce. So if you shorted, you got flipped the other way too. So like it's been a pretty iffy day here. We did, I did try to play the flag. We lost the 2 already. We bounced, but now trying somewhat, like someone said, somewhat of a double bottom there. And to me, I wouldn't be surprised if we just go sideways till tomorrow. And then whatever that data comes in, boom, right? Or boom, or might boom, boom, boom. I might not open up a trade probably, if I asked Master Fran, he'd say, Sam, don't trade until tomorrow at like 9 o'clock, man, 10 o'clock. When your stream begins, and even then you'll be on low volume Friday after what could be a massive crazy move with volatility from the data that came in. So blessings. So I'm more bearish than bullish. I've said that to you because this symmetrical triangle usually breaks down. However, there's a chance we make a right shoulder and save the day. If we break above the TRDAE on the 15-minute time frame, I would take a long. Until then, I'm off on a trade. That's pretty much how I look at it today. All right, let's break down a coin that looks at... I want to look at BERA Train real quick and see if there's a possibility to make it move. Is that thing going to bounce out of the chat? So that chat's showing light. Love here. BERA Chain. So it got airdrop, the initial airdrop, got the dump off, dump back down somewhere to 5. I remember at 6. and I could see it up there at 8 and then came back. So this thing has been strong compared to the rest of the market. Seems to have utility too. People are buying BERA chain, play with the faucet, want to do stuff, want to interact, and there's enough newness to this that it could suck enough people in to buy the coin to use it, even if the ecosystem, was doing decently, and this could create a pump. A bit of a cup and handle here as well. I'm going to watch this. If anything could pump, BERA chain looks like it may be something on the radar to look at. Again, all my charts start with speculation, and then we move into execute and fine-tune. But the first thing we do is we look to see, hey, is that really what, a possibility? Is there something that we want to play? Tight moving averages. High volume node got through the gap. I'd like to see this flag reset. Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour doesn't look too bad, though, and it's above the 200 MA. This tells me, hey, BERA chain may be a nice play into tonight. If anything does its own thing, BERA chain looks interesting. And it's almost a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Would have stopped below like $6.35. So take a screenshot of this. BERA chain looks like one of the few coins that could actually pump. It looks pretty good, just like when we were able to speculate on Pi chain, Riz, and on KAITO. Again, I'm not going to go crazy with the altcoins, but that looks interesting to me. Tonight is our weekly screen share. Tonight, everybody, I'm going to go over my portfolio, talk about what I bought and sold, talk about the wins, the ups and downs, how we went through, go over if I bought any altcoin or what's happening, and then show you if there's anything trending or what's worth coming our way. And we're going to have a blast tonight. I'm super excited. Last couple of days were actually pretty good for me, so I would like to share, and it's been a good run. I like to, making $6,000 in 2 days in a bear market is pretty sweet. If I can keep doing that every 2 days, I'm going to be in a pretty good spot, right? 2 into 7 is 3.5, right? So 3.5 times 6 would be pretty sweet. $18K a week. I mean, very tight on that price action. I may roll some, and now I got the gain, that $3,000 gain. I roll that. That hits. I turn that into $6,000. Then I roll that. And I like to keep swing trading altcoins that are hot while no one's paying attention. There's money to be made out here, and I don't really, again, I don't get it's not a huge leverage gain. You don't get to show the money moving when you swing trade a spot altcoin. But that's how Sammy makes bacon on the beach, man. And I'm telling you right now, I don't get liquidated. There's less competition for my position. And shout out to Beck C for the ability to handle liquidity on smaller altcoins in a way that's just absolutely amazing. Nobody does it better. When it comes to spot swinging those mini alts, man, nobody does it better. I've done it all with all of them. And if you want to join the trading group, jump on in, all right, onto the live chat. We do have a pinned comment up here. Go to cryptolifer.com. It's my awesome website, right? And you can unlock financial freedom. Join us today. I'm going to give you a free course right now, as I told you, in the next 10 minutes here. So you're beginning, you're watching me, you have no idea what's going on. You join the trading group, you say it's not neat and complete. The videos are everywhere. Sam, I need help. Sam, I like you, but I just need it a little more organized. I got you, man. I got you. I understand. Number one, I'm here for you every day on the live. Number two, once you join the group, the first thing you do is go to watch first. All right, and you want to watch this video of how to really circumvent the area, right? Also, we should change the read first video. Technically, this read first, I think, should be the, and then this is the 99. You want to read this. Watch this. This video is going to explain the indicators that I use, why I'm using them, how they work together. This is going to get you started. If you join my group, say you're confused and you didn't watch these videos and read first and watch first, then it's not fair to me because I've thought it through and I know how to help you. But you got to go through this, you got to walk down the path that I led for you, or else you're not going to learn. Okay, so the first thing that we want to talk about, dang, BERA chain looks interesting. That thing could pump. That thing could pump. BERA. And I was playing with BERA like a year ago when it first came out. Might even been 2022 when I first talked about it. So let's take a look at this. We can go look at ETH USD. So I'm just going to add everything that I use on my chart right now to help you understand what's happening. Okay. So we're going to go to the weekly. All right. And the first thing that I add to the first thing you're going to see is just candle bodies. And, I'm going to teach you about supportive resistance inside of the beginner course. And that's going to be key. You're going to have to really start honing in on that and realizing, where did price action start and stop? Now, once you hone in, look at that. That's an M pattern on ETH. Like, ETH back to zero. Unlikely, but dang. That's what the chart says could happen. Anyway, so then you got supportive resistance. Then I teach you about trend analysis, how to watch, high, low, high, low, high, low. And then when we make a lower, low, lower, high, what does that mean? And, when it's time to jump out and time to jump in. That's before we add any indicators. All right. Then the first indicator you're going to add is you're going to go up here and you're going to add basically 5MA. And you could add CBC 5MA DRS by Deepak R. Sabu. What's going to give you is the 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200. It's a band. See, everyone else is using the EMA ribbons. This is an SMA ribbon. Nobody uses it but me. I'm like the only guy with an SMA ribbon. Now, the point is, I watch as price action gets tight, and that tells me to get in. Tight, tight. So the first thing I'm adding is CBC 5MA DRS. All right. The second thing that I add is going to be the MACD. The MACD moves in conjunction with the moving averages, the moving average convergence and divergence. When these get tight, the MACD will give you a buy signal with a cross. When these get far apart, the MACD gives you a sell signal. It's created off standard deviations of moving average. That's why it's called the moving average convergence divergence. That's why I use it in conjunction with the moving averages. I don't just buy signals on the MACD, but if I see tight price action and the MACD is made up of a blue line and a red line and a histogram in the middle. The histogram shows you who's buying and selling. When there's a lot of buying, it's green, 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 green. When the buying lays off, it wanes. When the buying wanes off and turns to selling, the selling turns red, 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 red. When the selling wanes off, it turns light and turns back into buying again. This is how the MACD works. All right. People will teach you, buy when the crosses, and but again, I look for the visualization of a smaller hill and the blue line curving in conjunction with tight moving averages and support and resistance. If I see that, I call it confluence. It gives me a higher likely ability to take the trade and the probability that I will win. The next indicator is the RSI, the relative strength index. I don't tweak these. I use them exactly the way they are. This is a dotted line at 60 and a dotted line at 80, a dotted line at 70 and a dotted line at 30. Relative strength. If you went to the gym and lifted weights and you had a meter on your arm and by your third set the meter went off hard, it would say this is your relative strength compared to how much you've been able to lift in the prior past. So your relative strength comparative is very strong, relatively, right? So boom. If this is high, it's overbought. If this is low, it's oversold. We would preferably like to be buying assets when they're in their oversold regions, not when they're in their overbought regions. So it tells you, hey, Ethereum was a buy down there when we had got down into the oversold. It was a buy down here into the oversold. It was a sell up here. It was a sell up here. Whenever we got above the dotted line. Again, there's more to this. There's divergences and more things to find. But for the most part, that's how you want to look at it. A bearish div on ETH too. A bearish div on ETH right off the bat. That did play out. The next indicator that I use is the stochastics RSI. Just type in RSI again. But the one I have has divergences. Stochastics RSI with divergences by neobutane. I find my own divergences, and if you don't know what divergences are, that's okay. Right now, just don't go that far. Take a deep breath. We'll get you there. Again, this is complicated stuff, but we're going to get you there if you let me take you down one step at a time. Don't get overwhelmed. There's always a time to learn. Stochastics RSI have a dotted line at 80 and a dotted line at 20. Whenever you're above, you're overbought. When you're below, you're oversold. In conjunction, I use all three indicators together. I want to see the MACDs oversold and turning. I want to see the RSIs down and curving. I want to see the stochastics below the dotted line. If I see all those lines, I know I'm in a buy zone. If I see the MACD turning up with the blue line curving down in a big green histogram, if I see the RSI high, if I see the stochastics above the dotted line, it tells me I should be getting out of a trade, and that's probably when I'm buying the highs. So for the rest of your life, you can use these three indicators to basically see when you should be DCAing in onto bigger time frame ideas. Using this with the 2-week chart and the weekly chart are amazing for me. That's how I was able to buy the lows for Bitcoin, any asset in the world, by using stochastics RSI And then I threw in this fear and greed index, and whenever this thing, are you kidding me? Is it really at a 10? Oh my God, I've never seen that. I've never seen that. I mean, that tells me to buy so much Bitcoin. If I didn't buy Bitcoin at a 10, it was the worst thing I ever did. That tells me to buy a whole Bitcoin right now. I almost have to buy almost a whole Bitcoin, like 80K. Man, I've never in my life felt like I need to buy a whole Bitcoin. That's insane. When that's at 10, that's the best time to buy BTC. I'll be honest, I've never seen that at 10 and Bitcoin not bottomed. That tells me there's like a 95% chance that Bitcoin is bottomed. Crazy. But it does look like we're going to 75,000, but I've never seen that at 10. I think I've seen it at 9 one time when the FTX collapsed at 15,000. This is awesome. These are great prices for 10. So anyway, I guess the rest of the market, you know what I like about this is that we've been in so long, we've changed the fear the word of fear. Like the guys like Elio Trades, he's still in. The ZS Beckers, we're all still in. All these OGs like me, we're all still in. We are in, man. We are in, and like they're gonna have to shake us to the end of time. Like the tech is too hot, right? A 10 on the fear and greed index, that's absolutely amazing. I've never been so excited. When it gets up here, I get sad. Why? I know that I've been priced out of Bitcoin at that point. It's too expensive for me, and I can only get so much. This gets in here. I know it's for the little guy. I know, and I'm still the little guy. I can still get these good prices. So, man, extreme fear for Bitcoin at 10? Are you kidding me? I've never been so excited in my life. I mean, because every time this was low and I bought Bitcoin, it basically was how I made most of my money in my life. So everything that made me was buying these low 10s and 9s. So I get super excited when I see these areas, and this is awesome. I'm excited. I mean, this is unbelievable. These are some of the greatest times of our lives. A 10 on fear and greed? My goodness. Now, my chart says we're going to still dump. But man, a 10 on fear and greed says that has to be the bottom. But again, I'm not going to speculate like that. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, break us out of here. Tomorrow we get the data. They flip. We start going to the CME that they're going to cut. Then we head into the next rate meeting as a cut. Bitcoin starts to bounce. The DXY slips. They start to print. S&P, beep, beep, beep. Oh, we get the bump. Bitcoin bump. Everyone's, oh, I told you so. Back above 90K. And lo and behold, we have bottomed out and we make it through. All coins start to rip. Sol never loses 120. And the story continues. I mean, I know I just painted a glorious story, but it's very, very possible, my friends and family. You are in the short. Look, the short entry was 85,750. We now are at 84,474. So look, I mean, if you did get into that short there, it is in the money right now. And it looks like we're going to dump. So I told you how I was going to play it till I was blue in the face. And I said it's more likely you're going to dump than pump because that's what symmetrical triangles do. And it suggests that you could go to 79 and to 76,000. Maybe this is the capitulation wick. The fear goes to 6 or 7. And this is when we really get the juiciest prices. I would have limit orders set here for 65. I'd be 55 all the way up to 80K. This is a gift right now, an absolute gift. These are blessings, everybody. Focus on this opportunity. It is unbelievable. I can't believe it. I love you all. Stay amazing. Stay focused, right? So we just talked about the moving averages. We talked about the MACD, the RSI, and the stochastics RSI. And I gave you kind of a breakdown. And then I used the VRVP. Let's kind of go over that real fast if we can. You go up here to indicators. You type in VRVP. And the visible range, you click on that. And it'll show up here on the right side. And then you want to do is you want to click on it. And you just want to put a 0 right there. And hit OK. And they've changed it. I don't know exactly how to change it. I believe value area down. Yellow, right? Value area up, a blue. And that's more like how I have it. Something like that, right? And you can do the same for the other set, right? Down volume would be... Would it be yellow? Yeah. And then the would be the blue. And there you have it. Okay. Now that's showing gaps. And I follow it. Like whenever we have a big gap, we're likely to make it through the gap. There's a big chunk of liquidity here. And a big bounce. Tells us that we could get a nice bounce off 2,000. Nice double bottom there for Ethereum as it's, attempting to hold there. Funny, I haven't touched ETH at all. I've staked it on Renzo and all that and Egan Layer, but that's about it. That's the only thing I've been doing with Ethereum. You can see I stay away from it a lot. And like someone said, Cookie still pumping. Like Cookie getting a bit of a bounce off the lows. Once the market puts in the bottom and starts to reverse, people are going to be pissed. And they're going to wish that they stayed strong. I'm telling you right now, a lot of people capitulate. You want to see this capitulation. This is what we want to see. You want to see this drop off, this fall off. If everyone stayed in these markets in these times, and it wouldn't be called a bearish time or a pullback. So remember that. 84.4 though, we did lost 84. It looks pretty bearish to me for Bitcoin. I'm going to take a break, leave the charts for a second, get my wits about me, but I may enter a short later on. There's a lot of liquidity down there. There's a lot of liquidity down there. And so the short does suggest that we'd go further to the downside. I leave you with this idea here. All right. Did everybody like the beginner go over the indicator thing today? Is that helpful for everybody? I hope it was. Just from the research and people that are don't see Bitcoin in the future, but they see other interesting. Why do you hold Arrow if you don't believe in Ethereum? Because I believe in base. Yeah. Never thought I'd be looking at $84,000 Bitcoin 1 year post halving. I think it's pretty sweet. I don't know about you, but yeah. Shout out to Lance Timmermans in the house with the 333. I see you, brother. God bless you, man. Thank you. Fib class next, please. There's a beautiful Fib class in my trading group ready for you, waiting. Just take that class and get in. All right. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate you. Rave Song Records, Niconomics, Matt Viano, USA Gary Jr., Patrick Bateman in the house, SO in the house, Jennifer Moffitt, FaZe, 9DM Beats. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it was less than a year ago. You're right, Jennifer. God bless you, Sam. Enough love. Shout out to Randy Always. Who thinks Millennia going to 0 short from 5? Yep. Yangtze Petkov. Shout out to Patrick again. Robin Duncan. You people are amazing. Thank you so much for the love. If you traded with me last night, I am on 4 hours of sleep. I'm probably going to crash for the afternoon. Us traders kind of have some funny hours. We don't work 9 to 5s. We're all over the place. I'm kind of like Batman. Shout out to St. John's with the big win against Butler last night. St. John's, baby. St. John's. You're going to hear this name for the next few years. Rick Pitino. We're coming. And may God give us all the blessings we can as we attempt to get that chip, baby. Everyone, I love you. I thank you so much for being here. I'm going to catch you on the flip side. I'll be in the group all day long. Questions, answers, fun, you name it. We got a lot of people in there. If you're getting liquidated and you need to find out more, we have the liquidation master, all right, who will be there for you every day of the week. Jump on in. Well, of course, I messed that up. Let me see here. And we'll do it tomorrow, too, as well. But my man, Master Friend, he's just awesome. He sticks with you, pushes you. If you really want to stick with it every single day, it's nice to have someone on you. It is $300. What you're paying, it's almost like we hire a chef at our house because my wife can't handle it, and you get that expertise, right? You get food that's cooked better, that tastes better, that works better. I mean, if you want better results, you need better information. He's going to have better information for you. So it's just that simple. It's up to you whether you want to do that or not and fine-tune your learning. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you, and I thank you so much. Bitcoin holding the zone here. We just may get a bounce. You never know. That could be your right shoulder. This could be the bottom. I'll stay open-minded one step at a time. I may end up making the biggest long of my life later on. You never know, because we could crack the TRDAE. See, by staying open-minded, you're going to be able to figure out this market. Don't get yourself caught up in what's going to happen for sure type of stuff. That's nonsense. Remember, you're in chess. You don't know what the chess player is going to do. Have yourself ready for any single move at any single moment in time, and you'll be great. You'll do awesome. May God bless everybody here on the live. I appreciate you. I thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to jump on out for the day. And I'll see you all tomorrow. God bless. Remember, the secret to success. You know what the secret to success is? There's one big secret. Everyone waits. Everyone doesn't know. Everyone's not ready. You know what happens? Every successful person, you know what they did? Do you know what they all have in common? Every single successful person, it's this one secret. Every single person that ever made anything of themselves, you know what they did? Do you know what it is? They got started.